here at A&W. Pretty, pretty, pretty busy when I first got here. When I first got here, I was like so busy. But I guess because I was sitting here and I was doing my midterm for psychology. It was kind of interesting. I lost my connection for I guess 14 minutes. So I had lost 14 minutes of time to deliberate questions, which was pretty interesting. I came back on, and then toward the end, right at the very end, it cut off. But when I did log back on with a different device, I found that the actual answer that I rested upon was definitely there. Interesting fact to find out at A&W is the actual burger that I got through all my experience. Just the employee said that nothing has changed with the Beyond Burger, but this A&W doesn't serve the same Beyond Burger as the other A&W. I know this from experience, from years and years of eating Beyond Meat burgers. Had I not have eaten so many in times past, I wouldn't have noticed that this burger is very, very small, thin, in comparison to the regular Beyond Meat burger, which she said that it didn't change. But the peculiar thing about it is, this Beyond Meat burger, she said, that didn't change, is different than the Beyond Meat burgers I've been getting in Saskatchewan, in Toronto, in I guess leading out toward the greater GTA. I never seen one this thin. It's like, if you notice it, it's not very, like, even in terms of that tomato, that's a really thin burger. That's not a Beyond Meat burger that I know. Beyond Meat burger is thicker, significantly thicker than that, which I find to be very peculiar. What's with the inconsistencies, A&W? Have people been giving me fraudulent burgers before in Saskatchewan and in Alberta and in other places? Or is it just this A&W on this particular day? Maybe that may be the case. I wonder. I'm not surprised by getting different food. Ever since 2019, things have been very different for me. My experience in many places, and as I have said in times past, the long reach of people who want to do wicked things, man, it is long, and it gets in everywhere you go. And some people just do it, I think, just because. Some people do it because they're part of their team, and then some people do it because they don't even know what they're doing at all, and they're just doing it. And then there's the people who I guess owe them things, and they got to do it too. Because there's people sometimes I see that they're in a power position, but they don't seem very powerful at that moment. They seem like they're very much adhering to what is being told for them to do. So it's just one of those things that behavioral scenarios, as time progresses, you become more keen in observing those things. So I find it pretty peculiar with how it's consistent. And I'm expecting things to not work out the way that I would hope. But I'm not saying that they're not going to work out the way they're supposed to. Because I do believe, again, in God. And it's amazing what it says in His Word. Because it says, God works all things together for the good. For those who are the love, that love Him and are the called of His purpose. So, whatever His purpose is in each situation, it will be done. Whether it means you die, whether it means you live, whether it means You go on to do very small things or very big things. Whatever it may be, it's going to be. So I hope that somebody can change their ways, because the people who are benefiting from it are benefiting by themselves, no matter what they think. I know that false promises is one of those things. It's too good to be true, it isn't true. And that definitely resonates in this situation. And I know there's probably promises of all kinds of people about what they're gonna get, but at the end of the day, they're just working for these guys who are just wicked. And they have to do everything they say. Because I could tell that from this amount of experience and exposure I've had to this scenario, to see the difference in character in people, noticing that many of them feel very awkward, because it's almost like, oh, now you're being put to the test. Because remember when you signed up, or however you got involved, now is your chance. Because this Joe dude who showed up at your door, we don't like this guy because of 2019 at Carleton University. So there you go. We don't like him, so we want to get him and do him in all ways, just like they're doing with my car, Toyota. Toyota Kingston was a perfect example. It could not be more perfect. All of the transaction was exactly in the rhythm, in the same feeling. And then that dude came out and was like, yeah, guess what? And the weirdness that was going on before the great big interaction of them with the final ripoff, with doing work that they weren't even allowed to, because I didn't even say yes to anything of that sort, none of it. Like replacing my door for $1,500, my door panel that needed just some clips that could have cost like 15 to 20 bucks. They replaced the whole thing with a new door panel. This is the things that they were doing, and it says yes. It says yes to fix these things. It says yes, and I didn't say yes to anything. And not only that, it went beyond anything we had ever even mentioned or talked about. Even when they came back and they were still coming with baloney, they didn't even mention the things that they did, like replace the whole headlights instead of light bulbs, which everything was fine under what they even said. But then they replaced the whole headlights. It was almost like they were just preparing for someone who was gonna die, and they were just gonna take that car and they were gonna sell it. I'm telling you, things are getting really ramped up. Even right now, there's things going on. I'm not even gonna mention them. There's things going on that are ramping things up even further. So we'll see how many more of these I can maintain without these people who have the ability to do everything. Grocery stores, restaurants, Toyota car dealerships, and pretty much most of the interactions I have this weird scenario that starts up, and it's these people who just get involved. It's almost like there's certain dudes just come in and take over for the other ones, but the other ones are supporting it by allowing them to. So, anyways, that's what I have to say for my visit to NW. Yep, right at Parliament, right up the street, right up the street.